Holistic Health Crusaders. Dr. Ren here with Public Safety Officer Christopher Matousek. How you doing, Chris?
Great, thank you. Yourself?
I'm excellent, especially because I feel nice and safe with you in the studio. So Chris is a public safety officer and an EMT, and you're not wearing your uniform today, but when you are, you look pretty cutesy, just like that.
Thank you.
And we met in an emergency situation when I got a bloody nose at the Short Hills Mall when you were on duty.
That's correct.
Yeah, so tell us what happened that day.
I received a call to respond for a medical aid nondescript emergency, so I grabbed my equipment, and when I arrived on scene, I found Dr. Ren doubled over a garbage pail, bleeding with a large amount of blood, more blood than I've seen recently.
Yeah, so since I was a little girl, I suffered severely from bloody noses, which would typically land me in the hospital with 2, 3, 4 cauterizations and a lot of times overnight. And then when I was earning my master herbalist, I came across a professor, Dr. Philip Fritchie, who taught me about tincture of capsicum. And what that is red pepper that's distilled with grain neutral spirits in a little dropper bottle. So it's a very concentrated form of the red pepper. And he taught the class that when you apply this to a bloody nose, heart attack, or stroke, that it supposedly stops them on the spot. So I made certain to buy like his wholesale pack there in class, and the next time I got a bloody nose, severe bloody nose, sure enough, within 5 to 10 minutes of me putting the drops under my tongue sublingually and holding them and sticking them up my nose, my bloody nose just miraculously stopped on the spot. And that day, how did we proceed from there after you found me, Chris?
When I found her, I honestly was ready to start calling for EMS, but you know, we went downstairs and I opted to go her way, and it was definitely interesting to say the least. I was definitely surprised.
So the first thing I asked Chris for was if there was any hot sauce in the employee break room, because I didn't have my tincture of capsicum with me that I normally always carry in the bottom of my bag. And there was a bottle in the fridge, but there was only a teeny bit left. So what we did was you got all gloved up and all ready to go, and we got a bowl to kind of keep it sanitary, and we opened some gauze pads.
I couldn't open them fast enough.
And we took the hot sauce, I put it in the bowl, and I dipped the gauze pads and put it up and did a shot of the hot sauce. But then, you know, I needed a little bit more, and it wasn't as highly concentrated or potent as the tincture that I'm used to carrying on me. So I remembered that there was a Qdoba in the mall, so what did we do?
I went up there, I got some more hot sauce and returned with that and a red pepper.
Yeah, so he came back with one of these guys, and I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? But just, you know, in learning my holistic approach to stopping my bloody nose, that's what he came up with. But not that you can use a red bell pepper to stop bleeding, but I have used the actual granulated red pepper when I've been in another emergency situation, didn't have hot sauce or the tincture, where I took some water and made a liquidy paste and sort of did the same thing. So yeah, tell me about, from your expert opinion, the severity of the bleeding and then the time frame in which we were able to resolve the situation.
I was surprised that she was as calm as she was, given the amount of blood. I haven't seen that much blood in quite a long time. But again, ready to start EMS, and as calm as she was, 5 to 7 minutes, if not less, we clotted up and the bleeding stopped.
And I was like narrating the whole time, okay, this is what's going to happen next, this is what's going to happen next. And speaking of staying calm, Chris, could you give our viewers at home 3 tips as what to do in an emergency situation?
Well, number one, obviously you want to remain calm. That's paramount. You want to also designate somebody to call 911. That way we can get emergency response started. Further from there, it's always a good idea to have a first aid kit available, whether you're at work, home, traveling. It's always a good idea to have supplies ready. And other than that, you know, the main thing is to remain calm.
Yeah. And Chris, thanks so much for being here today and keeping it safe at the Short Hills Mall.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and smooches, guys, and think again next time.